and then started working an EMT job for $8 an hour after getting used to making over $250,000 a year in my mid-20s. So, cocky, young, thought I had it all figured out. Life kicked me in the balls. Thank God life kicked me in the balls. Bro, I was a people pleaser for a long time, and I would people please myself too. Most people who are people pleasers, it's not just about everybody else, it's about you people pleasing yourself too, because we're so afraid of messing up or being wrong that we protect ourselves with lies and try to create a story to make nothing our fault. You stepped up to be a leader, and if a man can't suffer, he can't lead, and no one's going to respect anyone that doesn't follow through with what they said they were going to do. Everything is your fault. Everything. Every problem in this world is your fault because of the influence that you have in this world. And when you have that attitude, it's like, now you can make some change.
Do you look in the mirror and not like what you see? Maybe those love handles are more like pontoons. Your mindset is comfortably settled into the not giving a crap mode. I remember a cartoon years ago where husband and wife are lying in bed and he's smashing the snooze button with his left arm. That left arm had massive muscles, while the right one didn't have anything to it. The moral of the story is we allow our minds to dictate what our lives will become: unbalanced, miserable, and yet comfortable. Well, today we're going to shatter that mindset as my guest reveals his strategy for reclaiming a busy life, even as a father with 5 boys. Now, before we get into all that, I just want to remind you that if you're interested in raising your standards as a father, a husband, an entrepreneur, then I encourage you to participate in our Band of Brothers group mentorship program. We're a group of ordinary guys working towards living extraordinary lives. You can find all this information at the Awakened Man Training Academy at members.theawakenedman.net. And with that, let's get on with today's episode.
The average man today is sleepwalking through life, many never reaching their true potential, let alone ever crossing the finish line to living a purposeful life. Yet, the hunger still exists, albeit buried amidst his cluttered mind, misguided beliefs, and values that no longer serve him. It's time to align yourself for greatness. It's time to become a revolutionary man. Stay strong, my brother.
So let me ask you a question. Are you satisfied with your life? And if not, are you ready to take full responsibility for it? My guess, if you're listening to this podcast, is that you are ready to make some drastic changes in your life. And today, my guest reveals his story for battling anxiety and depression and creating a program for fathers that is changing hundreds of men's lives and thousands in their community. Allow me to introduce my guest. Kyle Carnohan, it started the Superhuman Fathers on Instagram as a way to hold himself accountable to stop being a jerk. He recognized that many fathers like him were falling short with his children, sarcastic with his wife, and lazy around the house. And it's with this Instagram as his portal to announce his shortcomings, Kyle found that other fathers were feeling the same thing. Let's let him create Superhuman Fathers coaching program. Welcome to the show, Kyle. How are things today?
Bro, are we about to melt some faces or what? What that introduction? I just said right before we started, I feel like this is going to be the best podcast I've ever done, and we're already on track.
Yeah, listen, man, I was pretty jacked when I was getting prepared for this podcast and looking at this work that you're doing, and I just thought, man, I can't wait to have this conversation. And here we are on a Saturday morning, and we're going to have a killer conversation. Well, I just want to let you know, one of the things we talk about a lot here in the Awakened Man is we always talk that everyone's on their own hero's journey, or we call it a hero's quest. And the first question I have for you is to tell us about your journey, specifically about how you overcame challenges in your life that you faced and how that paved the road to who you are and the work that you're doing.
Bro, I was just talking to a fellow fireman who brought me into the fire service really probably 12 years ago. It was my first paid job. I was a paramedic before and a volunteer, a very scared one. Just so you know, I would go to work every day, pretty much pissing blood with my stomach in knots. And that was after a corporate job for 7 years where I lost everything, all my houses, cars, 401k, obliterated, started from zero, and then started working an EMT job for $8 an hour after getting used to making over $250,000 a year in my mid-20s. So, cocky, young, thought I had it all figured out. Life kicked me in the balls. Thank God life kicked me in the balls. And so This fireman was hitting me up yesterday. He's like, "How's it going, man?" I'm like, "Hey, I just thank you for all the stuff you taught me back then and laid the screws into me. Did not give me any leeway for my shortcomings and told me the truth of where I was messed up, where I need to do better." He's like, "What's that?" I was like, "Because we're crushing life, bro, on all levels." And you know, to be able to say that to this guy that I absolutely hated back then. I would go behind the door. See, this guy would like almost make me cry as a 30-year-old man every day, just ripping on me for everything. Like, so every little detail, the way I cut vegetables, the way I walked, the way I talked, the way I showed up on medical calls, the way I took tools out on fires, the decisions I made of which way to go in the house, how I tore the door off. Everything was just critical.
Yeah.
And my ego was just scraped to death. There's a power in this because I got to the point where it didn't bother me anymore. And I could just handle criticism at such a high level that now I just became the sponge to be better. So it was like, it didn't care where it was coming from, and it didn't even care what the intent was. I didn't care. I was just trying to find the truth in the attack, right? Because I'm like, there's some truth in here. So that's what I learned from this guy. But I used to go behind he'd yell at me and I go behind the wall and he's in the kitchen and I just feel like, "Fuck you." Like a baby. It was so funny, looking back at that, But there's times in our life where we're getting ground into the dirt and we feel like, what happened to our lives? Like, why am I so stupid? Why can't I do this right? Dude, those are the moments. Like, this is the forging process. Back then, I didn't quite see it. Now looking back, I can see it. And now looking forward, I can see it, which is the cool part now, where I'm like, bring the chaos on, bring the hardship, bring the loss, bring the mayhem, just bring it. Like, I accept it because I know what it's going to do for me, my heart, my spirit, my soul, and my future.
Amen, brother. I think part of the challenge I see the work that we need to do here with all this men's stuff work that we're doing, both you and I, is that too many of us are so soft, and heaven forbid that we tell somebody the truth that they're not pulling their weight. And how we do one thing is how we do everything in our life, and especially in a career such as being a firefighter. One little mistake, one little piece could mean somebody's life, and it doesn't matter if you're cutting vegetables or you're taking the tools out, right? All of us, it's how we show up. And, the other thing we talk about is living a life of purpose, capital on purpose, meaning what's your intention with every moment of every day? Are you waking up and have purposeful intention, or are we just sleepwalking through life? And I think there's way too many of us guys that just would rather just be the nice guy and just let life happen, instead of taking it like by the balls and actually owning our lives. And I think that's why I was so jacked to see about the work that you're doing.
Bro, I was a people pleaser for a long time, and I would people please myself too. Most people who are people pleasers, it's not just about everybody else. It's about you people pleasing yourself too, because we're so afraid of messing up or being wrong that we protect ourselves with lies. And we've got to create a story to make nothing our fault. Until you actually, I was just talking to one of my one-on-one clients. He's a famous actor, and he's done a lot of amazing stuff in his life. Like, he's an incredible human, right? So I called him this morning. I was like, "Good morning, sunshine. It's Saturday. I gave you an extra 7 minutes. Get the fuck up," And he's like, "Kyle, remind me why we're doing this." I go, "Because you stepped up to lead, man. You stepped up to be a leader. And if a man can't suffer, he can't lead. And no one's going to respect anyone that doesn't follow through with what they said they were going to do, or who's living easier than them." And I reminded him, everything is your fault. Everything. Every problem in this world is your fault because of the influence that you have in this world. Like, you should be making way more of a change. And I'm the same way. I'm like, why do I not have billions of dollars right now to make change and effect in this world? It's because I was lazy for so long, not focused, and I didn't have a plan. That's on me. Like, the amount of people and things I could be impacting if I would have got my shit together a long time ago. So now I'm behind the 8 ball.
Yeah.
Everything is my fault. Everything. And when you have that attitude, it's like, now you can make some change.
Well, it's so empowering, isn't it? Like when you finally take that responsibility. We always say in the work here, I always say that I know men are ready for change when they're ready to take responsibility for three things in their life. The first thing is for where they are. Just as you're saying, when you look around at your life and your situation, your home, your relationships, the career you have, those are on you. That's all the thoughts, it's all the actions, everything you've done up until that point. So take responsibility for where you are. Number two, take responsibility for who you are. You are that individual. And if you want to do something different, which is the third thing to be responsible for, what you aspire to become, then you need to act, be, and do different things. And when you're ready to do those three things, man, life just changes. And so I think the work that you're doing, and I had mentioned in the introduction, you went through a pretty dark time in your life and you needed to really figure some things out. So share with us about that dark time and the work that you did to help propel you into what you're doing today.
And there were so many, so many just massively fearful moments of high anxiety and depression most of the time going through this process. And I think what happened to me was I was like, man, when I was a little kid, I don't remember having this level of anxiety and depression and inner turmoil. But as you get older, it increases. You got more on your plate. Stress increases. The shit you carry increases. And if you run from it, you're done for, right? It'll keep you alive. It's when I decided to just stop fighting it and let it in and accept it as a gift that my life really started to flourish. And so for me, when I'm trying to fight that anxiety and depression and I feel like there's something wrong with me, now I'm in a frustrated state. And so I let that control me. So what happens? I start missing workouts. I start running to sedate with food, with drink, with addictions. Now I'm frustrated with myself at a high level. I don't have self-respect. I don't love myself. So it's very hard to give love to anyone else. Since I'm so frustrated, it's easy to give frustration. So now I'm frustrated, overly controlling, overbearing to my family and my kids. I lead with compulsion, meaning they don't even want to be around me because I'm always trying to control everyone and everything because I can't control myself and I'm frustrated. So now I have this energy in my home where no one even wants to be around their father. Mom and dad are fighting, and now the kids are fighting because this energy is just pure darkness and low vibration.
Yeah.
There's no growth in this environment, zero. And so I sat in that place, just like a lot of men did for a long time, almost finding the light. And then when chaos came, I just get crazy and I go right back into the darkness again. So just men are climbing up this mountain, climbing up this ladder, they get knocked off again, but they didn't get knocked off. They just would have hold on and kept climbing. They would have been fine, but they let go. It's too hard. My hands are burning. I got to let go. My arms hurt. Don't let go. Keep climbing. This is all part. I look back and I'm like, damn, there's no way I would be leading this group of men in this movement, which is going to it's already expanding far beyond what I ever thought was possible. There's no way I would be able to lead these men if I didn't go through every single one of these hard moments in my life, through losing everything in my corporate job, through every single stressful medical aid and fire call I went on, every criticism I received, trying to earn my place in the firehouse, every fight I had with my wife, every difficult, dark situation I had in any relationship. These are the things that build you into someone that is now ready to lead.
Completely agree. And I heard the phrase the other day that wounds are our work. And I thought that was so profound, that the wounds are our work. And I think for a lot of us guys, when we can look at it from that perspective, instead of saying the wounds are what define me and define me in a negative way. So it's self-sabotage. It's not a true introspection. That's when we fall down, and we're that guy in that cartoon I was describing. I'll never forget that. Well, with the massive right arm, because that's just more comfortable to do that and not try. It's just more comfortable than to get up and actually do something with your life. And so kudos to you for finally getting that, getting some things fixed in your life and in your mindset to move forward. But man, I got to ask you, like, I'm a father of two. My kids are, in their late 20s, early 30s. You've got 5 boys. What is a typical day in your household?
Typical day. All right, you ready for this? Alarm goes off at 2:45 in the morning. I get all kinds of negotiations immediately. I roll over a few times, put my hands on my face. Oh my God, are we really doing this again? Are we really doing this again? I just hear it so loud and clear, man. There's people that need you today. You're leading by example. Get the fuck out of bed and get to work. You're meant for more. You have a calling in this world. These words are for everyone, not just for me. Oh yeah, this guy, he has a calling. No. You have a calling. Like you're chosen. Just you have so much impact you can make. How do I know this? Because I watch my guys who come in as normal dudes start doing epic things called discipline and consistency, and their expanse into the influence is insane. Hundreds. And we'll talk about that more. So 2:45, I get up, I take my morning accountability picture. I love Instagram. I love my people. I love them because I can't fail them. And so that last moment, if I'm really feeling apathetic, I think, man, I can't let my people down. They're waiting for me. They're waiting for me to lead the way. So I get up, I take that fucked up picture in the mirror, my face all fucked up. And then I go turn on the cold shower. And that's my second negotiation is I stare at that thing and I go, are you serious? Like every day? Like this is what we do? This is our life? Yes, this is your life. So we hop in that thing. It's now like 2:55. And then I get on my stories and I just write on my Instagram stories. Whatever comes to mind at that moment, that's what goes on there, whether it's offensive or whatever's in my heart or I believe, I don't care. It has to get posted. And I say in my head, burn it down. If I'm not the man to lead, then so be it. But my true self is going to come out in these messages. And if that crucifies me, then that's who I am, so be it. Right. Yeah. So that was a scary road for a long time. And I'm getting used to the backlash and the hate, but I'm also really enjoying watching people change their lives and making moves and glomming onto the idea that we're meant for more, Absolutely. So then I'll use right now, I'll have every morning little half a cup of Greek yogurt, half a cup of cottage cheese, scoop of protein and chopped up apple, 50 grams of protein right out the gates. I'll pour some coffee. And then right now I'm writing a book for about 2 hours.
Nice.
Yeah. And that'll be till about 5:30. 5:30, I wake my son up, my 14-year-old, because we made a deal that he's going to come to the gym with us every day because he didn't want to do wrestling. He joined wrestling. He wanted to quit. And so we negotiated. He's like, Dad, I'll go to the gym with you every day. I was like, every day? He's like, yes, every day, 7 days a week. He's like, yes. I was like, okay. So we're going on like 3 months. Like he hasn't missed a day with us.
Outstanding.
So my wife, my 14-year-old, go to the gym at 5:30. We work out till about 6:30, 6:45. Come home, get the kids ready for school, get them off. My wife brings a couple to school. The other ones have e-bikes. Off they go. And then usually my appointments start at 8. And I'll do creative work and appointments from about 8 to when the kids get home from school.
Yeah.
4-ish, right? And then it's party time with the kids till bed. And that usually involves surf, skate, jiu-jitsu, maybe another workout session. Sometimes they just want to watch a movie or something. I've been letting them a little off the hook because I'm a grinder. So I'm trying to let them be kids and be normal, right? I'm like, what do you guys want to do? Because I always want to go do something. They're like, Dad, can we just watch a movie? And I'm like, yeah, let's watch a movie. But I'm sitting there like twitching.
What's the age range of your boys?
16, 14, 10, 8, and a 2-year-old girl.
Oh, and a 2-year-old girl. Wow. Here we go.
Accident, baby.
Yeah. There we go, man.
Yeah. So my boys do wrestling and they do water polo, and then my 2 little ones do football during football season. So Like the afternoon drive is crazy. It's like a 2-hour session to pick everyone up from school and then get them to their sports. And then a lot of times at night, like we're picking up my son from water polo at like 9:45 because he does club water polo at night. We drop him off at 7 p.m. Like picking him up at like 9:45. Dude, those nights are rough because the morning's coming and it's just, but acceptance.
2:45 comes early, buddy.
Yeah. But and the reason why I do that is because I have to. If I want to build this to the level at which I want, I have to create time, compress time block, be organized. Like, and I also know there's very few motherfuckers out there going to do what I do. And so like no one can compete with my ass. Like no one. Yeah. Because no one's willing to do what I do. Right. And if you tell yourself that while you're doing hard things, like when that alarm goes off, like if a man can be like, I run this shit, no one does what I do. I'm crushing life right now. And I am different because of what I do. Right.
Absolutely. Well, you're owning it all the way through. We're not allowing that fixed mindset to slow you down.
And I want to push people. Like I want you to hear this and be like, damn, all right. Like,
oh yeah, man. I've got goosebumps.
Yes. Like I want people to come with me. I want people to beat me. I want people to push me, you know? And so when I see people stepping up, they hit me up. They're like, Kyle, I've been up at 4:30 the last week. And like, I haven't missed a day and I've got my journaling done and I hit the gym before work. I was going in the afternoon, stealing that time from my family. And now we've changed it. I'm like, oh, okay, here we go. Yeah. I get these messages all day. My Instagram's blowing up with men changing their lives all day. You know, wow. Some join the Superhuman Fathers Brotherhood. Some don't. I don't care.
Yeah.
You know?
When they're ready, they'll be there.
Yeah.
Right. When they're ready to be there. You know, like you were talking we're talking a bit about fitness, and I wanted to ask you, like many of us, we've tried these different fitness programs, but we always end up by falling off the wagon. So what makes Superhuman Father, the group, so powerful that helps men really stay engaged? And I kind of get the sense we already know what that is, but tell us anyways.
Yeah, maybe this might be a little interesting. So I tie great spiritual meaning to our daily habits.
Nice.
This is why my men follow through at such a high level and they don't go back to their old ways, because this message and this calling to become better, when you connect that to a deity or a higher power, like, and this is actually coming from above, and that it is waiting. It's just waiting for you to give you this power of influence and of presence. And you think, man, how do I want to show up for my family? Like, what kind of vibration do I want to have when I come home from work, or when I wake up in the morning, or when I come home from the gym, when my kids see me? What do I want them to feel? What do I want my wife to feel when she's with me? And I truly believe that who I am is built by what I do over time, right? My habits. And who I become opens up this portal to power and a high vibration, so that when I show up somewhere, I am the gift, right? Because I am my wife and kids' greatest gift. And so if I bring a piece of shit to them that doesn't work on himself with a low vibration, damn, do I really love them? No, I love my pizza and my beer and my sleep and my anger more than I love my children. Oh, my family's the most important thing to me. Bullshit. Show me by your actions.
Yeah.
Show me by your energy. Show me by your vibration. Show me how you show up.
Yeah.
Right. And so that is a huge reason why my guys are so consistent, because every moment they're thinking, I don't want to lose this power. I want to gain more for my people. I want to have impact in this world.
Yeah.
You know, and we will only grow in our marriages, in our fatherhood, in our businesses, in our influence to the degree at which we develop ourselves.
100%. Completely agree with that. You know, right. You're just bang on with everything you said there. And I think that's what's so important about the work that you're doing and helping men really lead from the front and being there and really challenging themselves to show up and taking that responsibility and being that. Am I that person? Am I the person that my wife is going to roll over one day and go, man, that's who I married? Or is she going to roll over in the morning and go, I'm so grateful that that's the man I married, you know?
Bounce on you.
Yeah.
You know, like, and the thing with fitness is a lot of us just culturally, we've separated the two of like success between, all right, I'm going to be a good dad. I'm going to make money. And it's like, that's cool. And that's great. You got to do that. But the question arises, can I be my best self without being my best physical self?
Yeah.
And the answer is no, because you're not. You're not your best self all around, right?
Yeah.
Now, the hard part is there's so much information out there. It's just there's so much. Like, what do I do? And how is this sustainable? And like, right? So the first concept is that in order to be the best you, you're going to suffer at a high level. The more you suffer, the better off you're going to be. The more powerful you're going to be.
Yes.
The more you're going to remove yourself from the things holding you back and the chains that are around you spiritually controlling you. Your freedom depends on your ability to suffer, right? And your power to lead. So that's number one. Now, you still have to live this life, right? And you have to be able to manage it with your level of ability to handle stress, which increases over time slowly, just like a bench press or a squat. And so you can't just like do what a lot of us do, like, all right, I'm going to get my fitness together. I'm going to get up at 1 a.m. I'm going to eat only protein and I'm going to eat 800 calories. I'm going to do 7 workouts a day. And we're just going to get this done. And it's like, bro, slow your roll. Okay. You've been getting up at 8. How about we try 6:45? So you have some time to do 30-minute workout, right? So let's just get that 6:45, get your 30-minute workout in, and then let's work on learning about fuel and numbers with your food. We're not going to restrict you from any foods. We're going to learn the numbers, because if you know the numbers, it's not a diet. My guys say, and guys go, oh, you're on a diet? And my guys say, I'm not on a diet. I just know how food fucking works.
Yeah.
And it's like, oh, yeah. I manipulate the food in order to get me towards the goals that I'm working on at this current moment, right? It's just a different mindset. Not dieting. It's adjusting the numbers based on where we're going. And so we're all about the numbers, the carbs, fats, and proteins, getting them the perfect spot, and then easing the fat loss, not this aggressive smash, because that's when people go too hard in the paint and they burn out because their stress management isn't there yet.
Right.
There will be a time in your life, if you keep in this process, where you can bring on the fucking, like, if you want to suffer, like, you're ready for it and you can handle the kids, you can handle the job, you can handle your mindset, your emotional reactions, your addictions, and you're like, I'm ready for some more stress. So let's do some inoculation, right? But most of the time, you need to start slow and increase your non-negotiables slowly over time, sustainably, rather than this mindset. Man, I got to get ready for this wedding, or I got to get ready for this vacation, and then I can go back to my old shitty, selfish, addictive ways. What if the mindset was, I'm just going to slowly put more on the altar over time, more sacrifice, and I'm going to prove to myself I can do it, and I'm not going to go backwards. I'm actually going to give more and more and more, and slowly tighten the screws on myself so that I become a better man over time. Yeah. Right? Because I've been focused on this for over a decade now, like slowly progressing over the course of the last 10 years, obsessively, right? Not going overboard, but obsessively sticking with what I said I was going to do, which was perfect for the level at which I was at, right? People say, oh, it's just, I have so much going on, it's too stressful. So that is your level up, right? Like, that moment is the decision to be like, okay, the only way to increase your stress management is to increase your stress and stay in the game.
Yeah.
Right. We all have a threshold, but that threshold that we have is way higher than we think. We always want to let go of the rope and give up just when things start to get hard. Right. Absolutely.
Well, they always say the darkest time is just before the dawn. So when we can just hang on, like you're saying, just hang on to that ladder, hang on to that rope just a little bit longer, things start to change for us. And so, I was going to ask about the sustainability, but I think you've already answered that. And I think it's your point that you're making here is about slow incremental change to the
Yeah.
level that you can handle it, right?
Yeah. And so like our powerful way of coaching Superhuman Fathers is we meet people where they're at, and we can adjust it based on where their stress management is and just push them just enough, and then that's why the guys start to grow and grow and grow and they start to crave the next level, right? And then they start to feel really powerful when they start to get in control. When a man actually overcomes food, watch out. Guy's unstoppable.
Yeah.
When he walks around, he's like, I don't need this anymore. Like I'll just simplify. I'll eat these things and I got it. And then now he doesn't worry about it anymore. Now he's like, that energy leak is gone. Now he can focus on his business and his family and himself. It's over. Like food is such a massive distraction, and we're always like fighting it. And it's constant fight and battle that takes so much energy that once we finally just release and be like, I'm done. I'm just done. I'm just going to simplify. This is what I'm going to eat. And I don't need that shit anymore.
I just love that. In my previous career, I was a chef. And so, back when I was doing it in the early 90s, we used to always say, you never trust a skinny chef, because it was really European style food, and everything had butter, booze, and cream in it. And it tasted great, but it wasn't necessarily the best thing for your health. And so as you're talking about this, I'm thinking back to, absolutely right. Just simplify it. Why add more stress into our lives about the intake if we just simplify it and take and look at the numbers? So that, like you're saying, this makes so much sense, man.
I just say, like, know the numbers and try to eat like God's natural foods.
Yeah. Love it.
That's it. And then if you fit in some bullshit in there and you hit your numbers, you can always ratchet that down later on, listening to your conscience. It'll tell you. Like, there's times in your life when you're playing this game where you'll be told what's next. You'll just be eating something and it'll be like, hey, you're done with this. Don't eat this anymore. You'll be like fitting in your chips at the end of the night. You'll have this inclination like, hey, you don't need this shit anymore. Cut this out and put in something more natural. And you're just like, there it was. Like, there was that inclination. Yeah. And your level up is in listening to these inclinations and acting. Like, if you become the guy that has an inclination, like, hey, you should write this person a letter. And you're like, okay, yeah, I'll do that. No. If you're the guy that's like, okay, writes the letter, sends it, your life will completely change. Your relationships will be so, like, this has changed my life completely. Like, my inclinations were like, the other day was like, last week, take your wife dancing. I'm like, that's dumb. I don't dance. That's stupid. But it was like, call this place, take your wife dancing. It was like, okay, fine. Call the place, take her dancing. Little did I know, I blew her mind. Like increased our connection by so much just by that stupid go dancing with your wife. But I listened, right? So I believe that we're getting messages to help us in the things that are most important: our connection with our wife, our leadership on our family, and how we show up and influence the world. Like, I truly believe that there's messages. At this point in my life, I don't know if it's God or Jesus or whatever. I'm sure I'll find out at some point, or maybe not. It really doesn't matter. As long as you listen to it and follow it, you're going to be guided to where you're supposed to go.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. And I think the challenge for us is that, at least for me, is that there's so much other chatter going on, and that inclination that you speak of is more of a quiet voice. And it's a gentle push, right? Until we get to some point in our life where we're truly not understanding that we need to make a change, and that's where I find it's a lot of the work that we do. The work that I end up by doing is with guys that have hit a real pivotal moment or time in their life. And so it could be that their marriage is totally flatlined. Like, they're on the brink of divorce, right? The career is completely shattered, and their own personal life, they're lost. And it's at that point when they're at rock bottom that they're ready to finally just surrender to change. And when we're ready to do that, and you do this through some of your work, that's through the fitness piece. And that's what really intrigued me, because it's one of the parts, truth be told, it's one of the parts that I still struggle and need to work at. It's the piece of me that needs the most work. And this year, my commitment is all about health and mastering that. because I mastered many other areas of my aspects of my life, but health
Well,
for sure.
you found the right place.
Yeah.
So,
That's why I was jacked up when I saw your stuff. That, oh, well. So you've been doing Superhuman Fathers now you're saying for 10 years. How do
well,
you know?
2 years,
Just 2 years.
technically. Yep.
But
I've been coaching and training in the firehouse just for free for a decade.
Cool. So then what do you see happening for you and Superhuman Fathers in the next 5 years? It's already starting to explode and expand, but
5 years, like, I mean, we're already a 7-figure coaching business in a year and a half. The goal is to bring in 5 million in revenue. I'm burning it down. I'm putting it all back in. I'm hiring. I'm growing. I'm pushing this message. I've got marketing guys just shoveling marketing out, like, so to have some funds to really push is awesome. And, I had this, I'm a fireman, I think I made $120 with a shit ton of overtime, 2 years ago, and so now I've got this cash influx coming in, and it would be very easy to just have my one coach, have me, and net a good $700,000 or $800,000 in my bank account every month, and be like, we're good, babe, we're good, we're killing it. But then I would be a fake, because I teach my people that the message is everything, that integrity, character is everything, and that scarcity will destroy you. And so we're burning it down, man.
Right on.
All in. So what does that mean? Well, it means I'm either going to burn it down or we're going to turn into a $100 million empire.
Yeah, right on. I think it'll be the latter.
How fun to have a cause that you have some power behind, that you're willing to just throw away for character's sake. That will build some self-respect.
100%. Love it, man. I just want to say this has been such a great conversation. I really appreciate you taking time out of the day here. But if there was something that we haven't had a chance to touch on, what would be the one takeaway you'd want our listeners to have with us today?
The one takeaway is, like, the men struggle with food and anger, and there's addictions. Like, if you drink a lot, like, that's your first thing, man. The drinking will destroy you. And the half-ass drinking will destroy you and always pull you back into it, until you actually go all in and take the drinking and put it on the altar of sacrifice. All your negotiations in your head is like, well, I don't need to, and I can still do this on the weekends, and you'll be weak forever. Mm-hmm. You'll be a shitty leader. You'll always be wrestling with yourself. You always have a lack of respect for yourself, right? When you actually get to the point that you can just let go, you will soar. Take me as an example, please. Please look at my life. Look what I do. Look at my wife and myself and our relationship with these 5 psycho kids that admire their father on a high level. I walk around anywhere from 8 to 10% body fat, building muscle every year, getting stronger. I made over $1 million last year. Why? A dumb fireman. I'm an idiot. I'm telling you, I am not special, but I released the things that were holding me back. Your food and your gluttony will crush your spirit. You want a direct connection to guidance with God? Get your nutrition dialed. Your life will explode because you won't be holding on to things anymore. You'll get used to letting go of your pride in fights with your wife. You'll let go of the need to be right all the time. You'll let go of all these beliefs that you just shove down people's throats instead of just being humble and listening. Your body will change. Your spirit will change. Your mind will change. Just understand that your growth is right on the other side of these things you need to give up and these things that you need to do. That's my message.
Man, just love that. I just want to say thanks so much, Kyle, for spending time with me today and sharing your insights on how fathers can reclaim their lives while raising the standards that they're showing up. So if someone wanted to get involved with your program and your work, what's the best way for them to reach out to you?
Follow me on Instagram at Superhuman Fathers. I post 2, sometimes 3 times a day, and I do my stories every day. I'm always pumping out this. If you love this stuff, this is how I speak on Instagram all day with these messages. Superhumanfathers.com. You can book an appointment. It'll either be with myself or one of the brothers that has been through the program completely and had massive results, who's gained respect in the Superhuman Father Brotherhood, to come and join us.
Right on. I'll make sure all that information is in the show notes. So once again, thank you so much, brother, for being on the show. Really appreciate it today.
Honored.
Thank you for listening to the Revolutionary Man podcast. Are you ready to own your destiny? To become more the man you are destined to be? Join the brotherhood that is The Awakened Man at theawakenedman.net and start forging a new destiny today.